Just ripped the...
Did it just rip it?
Yeah, it was already broken, but it just made it worse. We just tore a big hole in our eyes and glass.
We're supposed to close on it tomorrow, and we're still a little up in the air because of the engine.
Welcome back, friends. We've arrived at the boatyard in northern Massachusetts with only a couple weeks to get our boat ready to go in the water before the winter closes in. And we hit the ground running with a long list of projects. In addition, we had to consider lodging and transportation. We were fortunate to find a weekly off-season rate at a hotel in nearby Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, a 15 to 20-minute drive from the boatyard. We only had the moving truck for a few days, so we rented a storage unit to stash the stuff we'd brought with us so it wouldn't be in our way while we worked in the boat. We returned the moving truck to U-Haul and rented one of their local cargo vans, which made hauling tools and supplies a little easier than in a small rental car. And this place looks like a literal bomb blew up in here. It is just crazy. I have no idea how this previous owner stored so much crap in this boat. But we have emptied the forward cabin and the aft cabin so that we could start cleaning and working inside of those. So all the stuff from every storage compartment is just piled up here in the salon. And yeah, we still haven't been able to get anything going with the engine or anything. The batteries are shot, and yeah, we just this boat was advertised as being ready to go and sail, and it's not at all. Just a few days into the cleaning and assessing, our work was interrupted. Today the boatyard is moving our boat closer to the water because we'll be putting the boat in the water within the next 2 weeks, and they are taking all of the boats out of the water right now because it's getting ready to be winter here. So they have to move our boat out of the way so that they can stack all these other boats in for the winter. Okay, they're moving the lift over to the boat. This is a very interesting process to watch. It's incredible that almost 20 tons of sailboat can be held with two relatively little straps. And the travel lift is able to turn in any direction, basically on a dime. I'll admit it's a little nerve-wracking to see our boat swinging around like that, but it's super fascinating. And now we have a new view of the water, so we can see the boats being pulled out for the winter daily as we continue our work. It's the last day of October and it was 75 degrees today. We've been working all day to get 3 really heavy batteries that don't work out of out of the boat. We had to rig up a pulley system to get them first out of the bilge and then up the companionway, and now we're trying to get them over the edge of the boat and down to the ground. Okay, so here's our pulley system. It's attached to the mast. Ted is tying on one of the batteries right now. These batteries weigh about 160 pounds, I think. So we attach it onto the pulley. Hang on. Get it going on here. We just ripped the...
Did it just rip it?
Yeah, it was already broken, but it just made it worse. We just tore a big hole in our isinglass, but it was already ripped, so. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, we're gonna have to replace that isinglass now. It's completely ripped. Okay, so there's the battery. We lift it up with the pulleys. 160 pounds. Oh my goodness. This has been a very long day. And after this, we have to get these batteries into our van and take them 45 minutes away to Sam's Club to get a new battery. Okay, so there it goes. Down to the ground. See, there's one already down there that we already did. And that's battery number 2. Now we just have one more to go. By the time we finished lowering the 3rd battery, the sun had set, and we began the hour-long drive to Sam's Club. After making it just in time to buy 2 new AGM batteries before the store closed for the evening, we found a nearby restaurant to eat a well-deserved dinner. T-Bones had delicious comfort food, chicken pot pie, baked haddock, and caramel apple crisp. And speaking of food, we found several local cafes that serve delectable food to keep us warm and energized while we're working through our to-do list. Port City Sandwich Company is within walking distance of the boatyard and has delicious soups and sandwiches, as well as muffins and breakfast sandwiches in the mornings. We tried Brown's Lobster Pound in Seabrook Beach, New Hampshire, one evening for dinner. Ted chose his own lobster from the tank and had it steamed in the shell. That was his first time trying Maine lobster, and he thought it was pretty good. And we can't forget the Boston cream donuts at Changing Tides, our motivation for getting out of bed on Friday mornings when the temperatures are in the 30s and 40s. Here we are on another chill-to-the-bone morning, but we found a warm and friendly breakfast spot called Nancy's Marshview Cafe and Bakery. This one quickly became a favorite of ours.
This is a Group 31, pretty heavy Duracell AGM battery, and it's going up our block and tackle system. And look who's on the other end, pulling it up. Talk about a tough girl.
So we've got this horribly disgusting bilge with a bunch of black stuff in it, and we cannot see the condition of the keel bolts because there's water and crap down in there. So Ted has rigged up a pump at the end of this long pole and he's got hoses in here, and we are going to attempt to flush the bilge with some clean water and bilge cleaner and pump all this nastiness out of here so that we can see what's going on down in the keel of this boat, so we know if we want to buy it or not. Okay. We're pumping stuff out of the bilge. After a lot of work, we were able to determine that the keel bolts were in okay condition. This was not without incident, however. Ted managed to get stuck in this oddly shaped compartment not once, but twice in one day. In my panic to get him out, I wasn't thinking about filming. Got batteries in there, and we're turning on the system. We have lights inside the boat. Yay! We've got lights, and we have bilge pumps working. We haven't tried turning on heat or anything like that, but we're making progress. As the days went by, the weather became colder and colder. The boats were all pulled out of the water, and they started removing the floating docks for the winter also. Oh my gosh, this is just insane. We are still in Massachusetts working on the boat. It's 33 degrees or something like that this morning, and I don't know if you can see this, but behind me there's snow falling on top of the Bimini. Well, we said we wanted an adventure, but this wasn't exactly what I had in mind. And here's the temperature inside the boat this morning. 45 degrees. Guess I should be happy that it's not 30 something in here. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's cold, but it's not really that cold. It's like 60, but it's cold to us.
Yeah,
It's been nice for the past few days, but it's gonna get cold again. We need to get out of here.
When you're from the south, and you get to winter days, and you're used to the warmth.
Yeah.
It just like shuts your body down.
Yeah, makes you really tired.
Makes your bones kind of ache, and your muscles tense up, and it just makes
Life difficult.
It makes it harder to move. It makes it harder to like stay active. I mean, once you get going, if it's not too cold, it's fine. But you know, it's like acclimating to weather. If you're from the south or the warmer states, you get used to it. I mean, 80, 90 degrees for us is, you know, normal. And okay, so you sweat, but you know how to hydrate and keep cool, wear hats and stuff, and you get used to it. In the cold, if you're from up north, I guess you could get acclimated to that as well. And since we've been here up in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, actually I think we're about 25 miles from Maine. And we're not full on winter, but we're definitely in the fall, and it gets pretty chilly. Over a little bit of time, you tend to get used to it as you're working, but it's not ideal for us. But I did notice that you don't sweat, so Yesterday we got a lot of cleaning and scrubbing and washing done.
It was about 78 in the afternoon,
Yeah.
sunny, beautiful. So we were able to take off our shoes and give the boat a bath.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of things like these kind of cold weather suits that you would jump into in case you had to bail out of the boat. Those are things that we're not used to in Florida because the water doesn't get that cold. We've been quite a long time between when we got up here to when we're gonna finally pull the trigger to buy the boat, because we're not buying a very expensive boat that everything is done and clean and in excellent condition. We're buying a boat that an older gentleman bought from new, but about 7 years ago he started getting sick, and so because of that he had been lacking maintenance, and plus he lived aboard, and Melissa was doing a lot of cleaning, and I think she took out about a total of 25 bags of trash out of the boat. And that's previously the daughter of the gentleman that passed away. They got a moving truck in and a U-Haul, and they hauled a whole bunch of stuff out. So it's definitely been a lot of work to get down to where we can actually see what's going on in the boat, and the through-hull fittings, the valves, what's down in the bilges. It's just been a lot of work, and the broker doesn't understand it because they think, oh, you see the boat and you buy it, but we can't even get the thing surveyed because the surveyor can't see everything. We can't, the batteries were totally toast. They hadn't been working in years, and they had swelled, and the bilges were nasty. We're trying to get the most boat for the least amount of money, and we had been we saw the boat in July, as we told you before, and so we just held to a number, thinking, the only way we're going to buy this boat is if we can get it for this number, because we got to do all these upgrades and things just to bring it back to par. Otherwise you're buying a boat for a higher amount of money, and then by the time you spend the money to get it where it's sell ready, it would just be so expensive. You could go out and buy a near new boat, or let's just say a very well maintained boat that was overpriced. So we're trying to be conservative with our money. We had looked at smaller vessels, and but the idea is to get the most boat that we can for the monies that we have. And so finally, they, after trying to show it to a bunch of different people, or the people were thinking they were going to buy a boat which was advertised sail away ready, right? Yeah.
It's far from that.
Right.
Far from that.
Far.
There's no head sails. There's no batteries.
Yeah.
There's no way someone could sail away in it.
Both of the forestays, the head sail furlings, are, which we thought when we first saw the boat in July was like fantastic, and they're actually trashed. And there's a lot of money to be spent in that. The thing must have, the rigger said it may have gotten hit by lightning, and so the outside shrouds are are
Which
burnt.
the daughter and the broker both seem to have no knowledge of that. So the
Yeah,
owner must not have told anyone that happened.
right. Yeah, and though they advertised it as sail ready, like ready to take off, when we looked at it, we knew it just needed all kinds of stuff. So they didn't understand why our offer was so low. We had stepped up a little bit of money to make it a little bit more appealing. We're going to have to renegotiate that back, because the more we dug into this boat, the more problems and the more things we found wrong that we're going to have to pay for. So it's just a thing, and this is the kind of boat that either you have the skills and the ability to negotiate and find good deals on parts and stuff like that, and you can put it back together. Maybe you have somebody on the things that you can't do that is not going to charge you an arm and a leg to come in and take care of those things. But the bottom line is you either have to have a wide open checkbook with lots of money in the bank that you can pay marine trades to come in and take care of all that, or you're doing it yourself and you're putting in sweat equity. And Melissa and I have been doing this. How long have we been here now?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, which is unheard of, because we've been working on the boat and we don't even own it. Working on the boat for 2 weeks.
Of course, he doesn't mind us working on it, because everything we're doing is making the boat better. So
Yeah,
if
it's
we walk
improving.
away, it'll be in better condition for them to sell it to somebody else.
All right, but yeah.
With our elbow grease,
yeah, well,
we won't get reimbursed for any of that.
And we're spending some money on things and parts and stuff. So, I mean, it's cost us a lot of expenses to come up here and stay in the hotels and the food. That's the bottom line. Is here we are. We haven't even closed on it. We're supposed to close on it tomorrow, and we're still a little up in the air because of the engine. If the engine is got way more hours than what they told us, which is already about 500 hours more on some documentation than they told us, well then, and if there's major problems with the engine, then there's just no way we can drop another, whatever it is, $25,000 or $30,000 on a replacement engine. So we'll have to back out and lick our wounds and take our losses. It's a lot of hard work, but that's where we're at.
Come back next time to find out about the mechanic's report. Will we get the engine running before the winter closes in and the river freezes?